Hi, this is G from Native Speakers Academy, and welcome to 10-Minute English. This is where we introduce short articles from the news for upper intermediate level students. Today's article you can see on the right here is I have a worthless degree and I know it. Just before we get into today's article, if you want more information about what we do, you can visit our home site, which is www.nsa-slovakia.com, where you can find a whole host of information about education and learning related topics. Yesterday, we finished a new article which has the title State of Mind, the Psychology of Control. These are notes that summarize the information in a recent documentary film about how society works and how society has changed and has been changed through the 20th century. There are a lot of useful links to further study the topic at the bottom of the page, so I recommend that as a nice introduction to some of the work that we have been doing recently. Also, you can visit our YouTube pages, the Native Speakers Academy official page, where you will find over 100 videos on education and a lot of other stuff as well, which might be interesting for you. And our new page, which is under my name there, Graham William Hendry. So let's get back to our article today. As usual, I have highlighted important vocabulary which you should find is new for students at the upper intermediate B2 level. And you can check out the language before we go through the article, or you can try to guess from the context and you can check your understanding after we look at the article. So I have a worthless degree and I know it, by Philip Reboli. As a loyal listener of the Tom Woods podcast, I hear a lot of great discussions. I have read more good books thanks to his podcasts than I did during my undergraduate and 2 master's degrees combined. We're not going to focus on Tom Woods, but if you want more information about him, there's a nice Wikipedia web page with a little bit of background information. He is an American historian, political analyst, and author. Recently, Tom had George Mason University professor of economics, Brian Kaplan, on the podcast. The topic was Obama's proposal for taxpayer-paid community college. This, of course, will be a disaster. The host and guest did an excellent job of dismantling the deception behind the benefits of higher education, free or otherwise. Now, I have cut a few paragraphs out of this article to make it shorter so that we can fit it into 10 minutes. So if you want a little bit more information, you can follow the links posted together with this. And that's also why I jumped over the first sentence there. Editing as we go. Countless outlets are drawing new inferences on the usefulness of higher education. Is the individual better off when half of college graduates work in jobs that don't require a degree? Has the graduate or employer benefited when only a small percentage of graduates have a job related to their major? And does anyone need a college degree to work a minimum wage job? In all three cases, the answer is surely no. So who is coming out on top? The real winners of this scheme are the universities that continually raise the cost of tuition thanks to guaranteed student loans. Banks that receive a constant source of income from individuals with a lifetime of student debt. A government that uses its public universities to churn out generations of graduates who believe in every bit of propaganda that comes from the approved elites. I didn't highlight this word before, but I'm going to highlight it now. You might want to put it into the online etymology dictionary and have a look at the origin of this word, pro-pagan. The tangible tragedy of these wasted years is that students, including myself, could have been productive members of society. We could have produced things people needed rather than delayed our entry into the workforce. What is a tragic waste for the graduate and society in terms of lost years of productivity? Can you use what there in English grammar? What a tragic waste. It is. Okay. What a tragic waste. Or which is a tragic waste. Okay. I can't focus this morning. Now, I loved to read in college and well into my graduate years. Notice that I read. Notice that I wrote read. I can't read anything. Notice that I wrote read, not study. My studies would often take a back seat to my personal reading. I inadvertently gave myself a true liberal arts education while my professors and school counsellors locked me into a particular program of study. Keyword, program. At the time, I intended to become a cop. That's why I majored in criminal justice, a degree with a terrible rate of return. But I don't want to pick on criminal justice majors. Have you ever heard a lawyer say that law school doesn't train anyone to be a lawyer? Imagine how many other non-educational institutions could get away with that motto. Let's highlight this informal language. It was only after I left formal schooling that my education really began. When there were no more teachers to please or grades to achieve, I began to develop intellectually. Only once I entered the workforce did that itch of intellectual curiosity finally get scratched. It's amazing the fire that should be education often gets put out through those years of college and university. Self-study is the only real study. My instructors and professors weren't ignorant, but I don't think that any of them were known as leaders in their fields. Yes, how many chemistry teachers are chemists? How many English teachers are writers? Even the faculty of the highly regarded school I attended in southwest England were not the intellectual giants I hoped they would be. In fact, I probably learned more in graduate school just because I lived abroad rather than in the classes. Things today are much different. Can you say that? Much different. Very different. Okay. My lessons are held all over the world and associated with just about every institute of higher learning. Mises Institute, Independent Institute, Antiwar.com, the Intercept Future of Freedom Future of Freedom Foundation, Economic Policy Journal, Ron Paul Institute, and let's not forget the podcasts. We have so much knowledge available to us, mostly for free, that no one needs the brick and mortar institutions to gain knowledge, but seek wisdom, as my father would say. We can all be autodidacts. When an advocate of traditional education breathes their hot fire in support of formal education, and the university system as the path to that education, ask them two simple questions. Are they taking courses at their local university or online? What classic work of philosophy or literature are they reading now? Chances are they are not participating in any kind of continuing education, and they are reading some trashy paperback 50 Shades of Grey if they're reading anything at all. They have the chance to take courses at MIT for free. But are any of them doing it? No, they're not. So basically, we have a semi-redundant system. And to understand why the system is semi-redundant, if you go to Google and type in MOOCs, you can find lists of massive open online courses which are free. You really don't need to pay for a good education anymore. So there we are. That's all we have time for today. Links to the original article will be posted with this video, along with anything else that is relevant. Please feel free to visit us on the internet. You can connect with us on Google Plus or Facebook or Pinterest. And if you want to go deeper into the topic, you could even take one of our special one-to-one English study programs. Just send us an email if you're interested. And give us some feedback. Was this useful? How can we improve? Let us know. So, this is all we have time for today. Take it easy, and I will speak to you soon. Thank you very much.